cheers to good health. And
cheers to good health. Our apple cider vinegar, turmeric, lemon juice mix.
It does look a little different.
Cheers to Dominic.
wow,
Inside
that's,
Hey guys, I just wanted to go through a day of eating for me. I thought it could be an interesting concept to just show the 3 meals I partake in throughout the day. I do have a few snacks. I'm not going to record those because I think they'd be kind of mundane. It's a lot of times just eating like a banana or some nuts. But I'll just record the 3 main meals I have in the day, and then I also want to plug it into Cronometer and just show my nutrition profile. And I think it can be pretty educational for viewers and for myself, just to see where nutrients are coming from, maybe where nutrients may be lacking. I know looking through it myself, usually do a pretty good job at hitting all the markers. But for those who don't know about Cronometer, it's a really cool app that allows you to enter your the food you eat into a system, which then breaks down into like a nutrition profile. It's pretty insightful just to be able to look into look at like a visual representation of your nutrient intake. It's pretty useful just to be able to see it, and it's a big difference between having it in your head and seeing it right in front of you. I think we're able to come to more accurate conclusions, and we get a more concrete sense of like what's actually happening when we can actually just look at something. So without further ado, let's blend some shit up. I'm gonna make a smoothie for breakfast. Alright, so the recipe's pretty simple. What I do is I'm gonna take about 2 cups of blueberries and throw them into the blender. As far as kale goes, I'm going to prefer this up. My battery's getting low, but I'm going to take probably 2 pretty big handfuls, which is probably about maybe about a cup each. You can kind of, yeah, it's about a cup each. Probably 2 cups of kale, 2 cups of blueberries. I actually already measured out the chia seeds, so this is 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. Pour them right into there, and then I'm going to take a full banana, throw that into the blender. This is a great way to get a lot of energy first thing in the morning, a lot of fibrous sugars. I'm going to take about 6 ounces of soy milk and probably 10 ounces of water. Put that in there, slap on the lid, and let it go. I hope y'all saw that sweet ass zoom in action, because that was, that's some high quality shit right there. So I'm gonna pour this out. It usually makes quite a bit. I enjoy drinking this much, but if you can't handle this much, just make less. Cut the recipe in half. But this is gonna get my day started, so I will be back soon for lunch. Cheers. Alright, so for meal number 2, I'm going to do one of my favorite things. It's avocado toast. Cool. The cool part about using a tomato for the avocado toast is you get to eat the end pieces, which are pretty delicious and imagine pretty good for you. sure you enjoyed that nice little modeling close-up shot right there. I'm gonna take a bite of this and go enjoy it while I watch a Mike the Vegan YouTube thing on Joe Rogan. I discovered avocado toast like this a few weeks ago from my girlfriend, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. Literally, I've gotten bad about it. Sometimes eating it for like multiple meals throughout the day. But I've toned it down a little bit, gained some composure because avocado toast was on the brain real hard. We'll check back on my next meal, and then we'll do a little recap in Cronometer showing my nutrition and where I may be lacking, where I'm crushing it. I think it's gonna be overall really good. So I look forward to doing that part. Just finished up whipping up our last meal of the day. We made some vegan pad thai.
Yeah, we did.
Thanks to this chick right here, she inspired this. Well, my friends Chris and his girlfriend Ari actually wanted to have a dinner tonight, and last minute Aaron came through saying, I guess I'm broke,
Yeah.
I have some noodles, let's cook. So,
All day, every day.
that's what it's looking like. Maybe we can do a pad thai recipe now. That'd be fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So maybe that could be the next video, vegan pad thai. But yeah, I'll throw a list in the Cronometer and just show what my nutrition profile looks like. You're gonna get a bite of it on the camera. That's like what people do, right? They're like, insert positive emotion,
Yep.
exclaiming how good this is. But yep.
Wow, I'm proud of us.
I'll see y'all on the other side of this. Actually,
Wow.
there we go. Actually, I'm gonna let y'all say hi to Ari.
Hi.
What's going on?
Eating some pad thai.
Cool. And this is the man himself, Chris Bowling.
Yep. Excited to try some of this pad thai.
Wow, you're gonna.
Kudos to Ryan for making it. That's right.
Where's the credit to Aaron?
Amen. That's what that made the sauce.
All right, we'll get some takes on the food.
Secret sauce.
It's really delicious.
Cool.
The flavors balance like really nicely with like the sweet and the salty.
Right on.
And we put a little bit of crushed pepper in it too.
Oh, do we have pepper flakes?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna throw in some of those, but I'm gonna eat this and stop talking to the camera and hang out with my friends. There we go. There we go. That first round actually wasn't recording, so we're gonna try this again. So finish the day of eating, and we're gonna go through the nutrition profile for the foods I ate today. As you can see, consumed around 2,100 calories. As you can see, for the most part, everything is pretty good. I hit around 76 grams of protein, about double the amount of carbs, which I know for some people that's kind of scary, but I think when you're eating complex carbs from Whole Foods, carbs are actually a really good thing for you, and they help sustain energy. Also, as you can see, fat was almost where it should have been. It looks a little bit low. Actually, a little bit interesting to me how that happened, but it's there. Protein, as you can see, I'm actually above average, so that's pretty nice, especially for the people who have protein fears. But I think that myth is kind of, slowly going away as more people get educated. So let's take a look at our fiber. Got 180%. I don't have the exact figures in front of me. Maybe in a future video that would be a good idea to do, but I know the average American gets way below the amount of fiber they should get a day. And as you can see, I've been hitting 180% of my daily value. Iron is another thing. I always hear people talk about being iron deficient. I hit 275% of my daily. Calcium, another one where people are like, oh, you gotta eat dairy or you gotta drink milk to have strong bones. You can see that I hit that 1.5x. Vitamin A off the charts at 500%. Vitamin C 150%. Great, boosting your what's it called? Your immune system. There we go. Folate was almost where it should be. Let's take a look at some other things. Just looking at the random vitamins, you can see a lot of these are just off the charts. Thiamine at 400%, riboflavin at 140%, a few of the other ones at close to 100%, peroxidine almost 200%, vitamin A off the charts again. I think we already covered that one. Let's see, vitamin K 600%, calcium, we already hit that. Let's see, our omega-3s, which is a really good fat, was at 500%. Omega-6 was a little low, which is not necessarily a terrible thing. Something I learned recently though is having a good ratio of these is a good idea, and that's something I actually became more aware of lately, where my omega-6s were like incredibly high, and basically trying to have a closer ratio of 1-to-1, so basically having equal amounts of each is a good idea. But as you can see, and then protein was a little weird today because my dinner was a little off from what it usually is. Eating a big noodle dish isn't typically what I'm doing for dinner. But as you can see, like pretty much everything was hit substantially where it should be. You can see protein overall was 137%, more than adequate for your daily hit. Also, every single amino chain was hit. Yes, it kind of looks like in a few spots they weren't exactly where they, I guess, should be, but in reality, a lot of these, if you took like the standard American diet, the nutrition profile would not be anywhere near as impressive as it is like right here. So I think that's something important to be mindful of. If the standard American diet's like really shitty, I see how my coworkers eat at like the cafe I work at. Often it's like burgers, fries, like wraps with like fried chicken and stuff in them, and when you're eating those kind of things, you're gonna be like completely screwed when your nutrition comes into account. One thing I was really a little bit disappointed though was my sodium. My sodium was right around 1,000 for the day, but it actually got completely screwed at the very end because of these noodles. Let's see if I can pull it up. On my phone, I can actually I can click into my sodium and get a, oh, okay, you can do it like this. At the very top, you can see the non-consignment Yokoguri udon noodles are incredibly dense in sodium, which I was unaware of until I ate it. Well, I think they're packing like 680 milligrams of sodium per serving, and I ate a lot. I eat big dinners usually. I usually eat pretty light during the day, and then pig out at dinner for whatever reason. I guess I just function best eating light, and then I just like to satiate myself at the very end and just kind of chill out to end my days. Probably not the healthiest thing in the world, honestly, but it's what I do. But yeah, overall, as you can see, most of my targets are hit. The B12 targets usually hit because I can just pop a supplement, which I do on most days, or I eat like nutritional yeast, stuff like that. So some days my vitamin B is like 4,000%. So some days it's okay to not hit it at all. It doesn't really impact things negatively at all. So yep. But overall, I think I did pretty well. Things to be mindful of would be to, be careful not to exceed the sodium intake, because that's going to be really poor for your health overall. I think particularly your cardiovascular health, and I'm sure it's just not good for, preventing disease. Also, getting, actually the fatty ratio is pretty good, but maybe eating a little bit more beans and rice could even out my protein profile, get these up a little bit more where they should be, where they usually are, because I usually do eat brown rice, and that usually maxes these out, because rice is a nice source of protein. But overall, that was my day of eating, and I hope some of this was insightful, gives some people some ideas of what you can eat and maybe where you can get certain nutrients from. Actually, before we end this, I just want to look at some things. Vitamin K, something I want to point out is it's good. It comes from the berries, the kale, the chia seeds. So it's kind of cool, just getting those nutrients from those sources. I think actually another one to look at would be the calcium. Calcium came from almond milk, the tofu, the chia seeds mainly. I guess the almond milk was fortified with calcium, so that's a good source if you're concerned about calcium. Just finding a good plant-based milk that's fortified with calcium, so you can get those calcium gains, keep your bones strong, stay healthy, stay strong. Vitamin A was something I noticed a lot comes from just having an adequate amount of green vegetables and fruits in your diet, berries. But yeah, overall I'm pretty satisfied with my chrono readings, and yeah, I hope this spurs some insight for some people, maybe get some people to use cronometer. It's definitely been helpful to be able to visualize my nutrition profile, and it's definitely made changes for me. I know about 5 months ago, I was actually like 30 pounds heavier. I was just I was inputting my food, and I was like, holy shit, like I'm eating a ton of sodium. So I simply just limited my sodium intake to 1,000 on most days, and within 3 months I dropped 30 pounds, and that was largely because I cut out most processed food. When you're eating a diet that doesn't have much processed food in it, you consequently cut out your sodium intake a lot. Unless you're adding a bunch of salt to your foods, then you're kind of effing yourself, but it's still better than the processed junk, in my opinion. And then now another insight I've taken away from this is balancing my omega-3, omega-6 ratio, because on some days it was getting like 10 to 1, which is pretty bad, like 10 being the 6, 1 being the 3. So that was another insight for me that I took away, and I think it's going to help me out. And overall, it's kind of become like a game and kind of exciting to use cronometer, or not even use cronometer, but to eat healthily, because it's like I get to input the healthy stuff in a cronometer and be like, and it kind of just gamifies it. It's like, I wonder how healthy I can make my nutrition profile look. And it just makes things fun, and I think that's cool, because our body is very important, and it's the only one we got, so we should take care of it. But yeah, until next time, guys, be vegan. Be vegan for the environment and our health, animals too. Yeah, if you took the time to watch this video, I appreciate you. Leave your comments below, and let's start a discussion. It might be fun to do so. Peace. Vegan peace. This is no longer the peace sign, this is the vegan sign, because veganism is all about peace. Alright guys, later.